Hey there folks, John here with You My Lens, and today I'm coming to you with another knife-related video. Today I'm going to be taking a look at this plain Jane version of the Gen 4 Koenig Arius. Now there's nothing really plain about a plain Jane Koenig Arius. That designation is kind of a carryover from the Chris Reeve plain Jane Subbenza, the version that has titanium handle scales on both sides, that features no embellishment, no graphics, no inlays. It's plain. Koenig as a knife company is located in Boise, Idaho, just like Chris Reeve is, and their fan base tends to be of a similar demographic. So it's no wonder that that particular designation is kind of carried over to the Koenig Arius. Now this particular PJ Koenig Arius is a little bit more special than what you might find typically. I'll explain why, but first let me try to help you understand what I understand about the different levels of the Koenig Arius that you will typically see. Now, the Koenig Arius is a pretty low production. Koenig is a pretty low output company, so there is no version of the Koenig Arius that isn't rare. But the most common that you will see usually comes in a couple of different versions that gets distributed to the Koenig dealer network, like DLT Trading, which is where I got this carbon fiber version of the Koenig Arius. It does represent one of the more common versions, the most common of which would be the plain Jane without any of this accessory blue titanium, blue anodized hardware. This is an accessory purchase that's available from the Koenig website that I ordered after, at least in the case of this knife, I ordered it after I had received the knife from DLT Trading. The hardware is actually quite difficult to come by. It's available only on the Koenig website and they're usually sold out. But again, most versions of the Koenig Arius will come with the blue backspacer, but not blue screws or blue hardware. You have to order that separately. What these common versions do come with in both plain Jane version and with the carbon fiber handle presentation scale is the bright wash finish. And again, I reviewed this knife a couple of months ago when I got it, brand new from DLT Trading. Go back in my playlist and take a look at that review. I'm not going to kind of cover a lot of that same ground here. I'm just going to talk more about, what's different and special about this particular version. So there's that kind of first level of Koenig Arius, and again, you'll see most of this this version, the plain Jane, that's what is most prevalent that's out there, that most people that you'll see on the knife community will have. The carbon fiber ones are quite a bit more rare. There's probably one of these for every 100 that they ship out of these. Beyond that, you'll at the opposite end of that quote unquote common area would be the custom Koenig Ariuses that you can only get by ordering them from Bill. I don't even know that Bill Koenig still does those. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just does them for special people that he knows, or maybe he only does them when he goes to knife shows. I don't exactly know how you would get a true custom from him. But again, my sense is he doesn't do them very often anymore because he may not have time to do them. But there is a middle ground between the common versions that get sold to the dealer network and the customs on the other end. This represents one of those examples from that kind of middle area. This was from a limited edition drop that Koenig sold directly from his website. He did an announcement in early November that it was coming. I got very excited, and on the day of the drop, I was on the website ready to order it, put it in my cart, and was not able to check out. I got cart sniped, and they all sold out within seconds, literally seconds, certainly less than a minute, and they were all gone. I was pretty frustrated by the experience. I think Koenig needs to do a little work on their point of sales, their checkout system. I think they're aware of the issue, but it was a very frustrating situation to be in, and I ended up not getting one of the knives. But I was persistent in keeping an eye on the buy, sell, trade group on Facebook, and a gentleman did list one for sale just about a week ago, or about a month or so after the drop. Apparently he got a little overextended on knives and needed to let one go. And I was fortunate that he let me have it at pretty much the same price that they were issued at the drop. So before I talk about the price of this knife, again, let me kind of help you understand what the cost of an Arius is from the dealer network. The most common version of the Arius, again, the plain Jane version, without any of the accessory hardware, is going to be $605 retail. And that is probably the cheapest price that you're going to be able to buy a new Koenig Arius for, which is kind of ludicrous to say given how expensive that is, but it's for what you get for the knife. It's a pretty reasonable price. Now the next least rare, I suppose, would be this carbon fiber version. My guess is that there's about one per every 100 of these sold, and this one was about $100 more because of the carbon fiber handle scale. Again, it does have, again, the bright wash finish, and I had to purchase the blue hardware after the fact. You will occasionally see some versions that go through the dealer network that also have some millwork on, perhaps just the clip side or on both the presentation and the clip side, and those are about $100 upcharge as well. This particular version has something that has never been shown or featured on a Koenig Arius before. It's been something that fans have requested for a long time, and that's a replacement of the stainless steel pivot with a titanium pivot that could be blue anodized to match the rest of the blue hardware. So this particular knife came with this new titanium blue anodized pivot. It came with the titanium blue anodized hardware that you normally have to order separately, but it also, has a hand rubbed finish on the knife blade as opposed to just the bright wash, which is absolutely stunning. I love a hand rub blade finish. And certainly after my experience in trying to check out on his website, I was pretty well convinced I would never be able to own a hand rub version of the Koenig Arius. So I'm just thrilled and over the moon to have this one. Now again, I'm not going to go over all of the features of the Koenig Arius. Please check out my previous review that I did of this knife for that. When I purchased this knife, I was pretty happy to have gotten one of the carbon fiber versions. Again, they are a little bit more rare than the plain Jane version, but I thought that it would probably wear better than the PJ because of my experience with the Chris Reeve Sebenza and the snail trails that so readily appear on the titanium handle scales. I thought, hey, if it's on the clip side, not a big deal. Well, I've been carrying this particular knife a lot, at least twice a week, if not more, since the time that I bought it. And there are no imperfections or marks on the clip side of this knife, this titanium finish. I don't exactly know what Koenig does that's different, but I do know that it is far more resistant to wear, resistant to snail trails than a Chris Reeve Sebenza would be. So I'm absolutely thrilled. That's one of the reasons why I was far more willing to consider purchasing one of the plain Jane versions. I think I'm going to be able to carry this, and that finish will probably resist wear much better than what I had initially expected. And I do love the look of the titanium handle scales on both sides. I love the clean, this clean finish here. I don't particularly like the embellished with the millwork, even though they are, that does represent more work and expense, and they're of higher cost. If I'm going to get one with the titanium handle scales, this is the one I like. So I'm really thrilled. The other thing I'm really surprised about is that there's not that big of a difference in weight. I thought that the carbon fiber version would be much preferred because it would be a much better EDC kind of a knife because of weight. So let's compare them. Again, the weight of the carbon fiber version is just a hair over 4 ounces. That's a very EDC-able knife for most people. But the full titanium version doesn't weigh a whole lot more than that, 4.83 ounces. So less than an ounce, difference between the two. And certainly in my experience, something that's within the 4-ounce range is something that I can pretty easily carry. So I don't think I'll have a problem EDCing this knife, when I'm able to go back to work when we're past this global pandemic stuff. So I'm really happy about that. The other big difference here, and I can't exactly account for why there's such a difference, but there is a difference in the action and the detent. When I did my review of this knife, I talked about how the detent was a little heavier or stiffer than what I liked. It has broken in since then, so it's not horrible. It's certainly not bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just a little heavier than what would be my preference. This knife has an absolutely fantastic flipping action. This is the best flipping action of any knife I have ever held in my hands. With the most minimal effort, the blade just rockets out. It feels, I'm sure it's not, but it feels like you're using half the amount of effort. Now, is this got such a better flipping action because it was part of a very limited edition run and had a little bit more care from Bill at the factory? I don't know. All I can say is that this is the nicest knife that I've ever owned, and certainly look for that when I do my year-end, knife, best knife of the year, that video that I'm planning on doing later this year. Well, there you have it. There's my review of the Plain Jane Koenig Arius Gen 4. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Take care. God bless. We'll see you in the next one. I hope you've enjoyed this production from the Through My Lens YouTube channel. If you did, please click on the like button and do share the video on social media. If you'd like to see more content like it, please do subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and do check out Through My Lens at www.throughmylens.org.